Welcome to Beyond Origins, where we discover crazy facts. Today, we're diving into one of the most epic stories of all time, a true legend from Japan, the tale of the 47 Ronin. So let me ask you something right off the bat. When it comes to revenge, how long is too long to wait? A week? A month? Maybe a whole year? This isn't just a random question, because we're about to unpack a story of loyalty and vengeance so intense, it honestly feels like it was ripped straight from the pages of an anime. How about 2 full years? Yup, that's exactly how long 47 samurai waited to get justice for their fallen master. And they weren't just sitting around. This was a 2-year masterclass in patience, deception, and absolute unwavering dedication. It's the key to their entire legend. So how does a story like this even begin? Well, like all great revenge plots, it starts with a terrible injustice. An event so dishonorable it would forge a vow that could never be broken. Here's the setup. You've got a powerful and seriously corrupt court official who goes out of his way to provoke and insult a noble feudal lord. He pushes and pushes until the lord snaps and draws his sword inside the shogun's court, which was a huge, huge no-no. The punishment for that? He was forced to take his own life. Now, this ritual suicide, known as seppuku, was meant to be a way for a samurai to die with his honor intact. But this was the total opposite. Being manipulated into it by a crooked official wasn't justice. It was a stain, a deep, public humiliation that tainted their master's name. And just like that, with their lord dead, his 47 loyal samurai were set adrift. They were now masterless warriors, what's known as Ronin. But they didn't just scatter to the winds. Oh no. They came together and made a secret, deadly pact to avenge their master and destroy the man responsible. Okay, this is where the story shifts from a tragedy into an absolute masterclass in psychological warfare. For the next 2 years, these Ronin played the long game. Their greatest weapon wasn't the sword, it was time itself. They had to convince their target, and basically the entire world, that they had completely given up. Their plan was meticulous. Right after making that secret vow, they vanished. They just melted back into society, becoming carpenters, merchants, even monks. All the while, their leader took the deception to a whole new level, acting like a completely broken man. It took 2 years, but eventually their enemy got comfortable. He thought he was safe, and that's exactly what they were waiting for. This quote really says it all. To fool the spies that were definitely watching them, they became the opposite of warriors. They didn't just put down their swords. They had to publicly act like men who had lost all their honor, all their discipline, everything that made them samurai. And their leader, the lengths this guy went to, it's just incredible. He divorced his wife, abandoned his family, and became a notorious drunk who was constantly getting into trouble in the red light districts. He lived a life of total public shame. And all the while, he was the secret mastermind coordinating everything. The personal sacrifice is just mind-boggling. So, after 2 long years of this elaborate act, the wait was finally over. On a cold, snowy winter night, the plan was set in motion. Vengeance had arrived. Now, don't picture some messy, chaotic brawl. This was a surgical strike. It was like a real-life shinobi mission, planned down to the last detail, perfectly coordinated, and carried out with deadly precision. This was pure, weaponized loyalty. Their plan was genius. Step 1, get over the walls of the mansion without making a sound. Step 2, and this was crucial, they put archers on the rooftops. Their only job? To take out anyone who tried to run and call for help. Total information control. And with the compound locked down, step 3 began, find their man. After a tense search through the mansion, they finally found him. But he wasn't in his chambers, ready to fight. He was cowering in a dark little storehouse hidden behind a pile of firewood. The man who held so much power was now just a cornered rat. But just killing him wasn't the point. It was never just about the kill. This brings us to the final and most powerful act of the story. It was about restoring honor and fulfilling that 2-year-old vow. First, they actually offered him the chance to die honorably, to commit seppuku with the very same dagger their master had used. But he was too cowardly. He refused. So they held him down and took his head. The mission, after 2 long years, was finally complete. And what they did next is maybe even more incredible than the raid itself. All 47 of them marched 6 miles across the city in broad daylight, carrying the head of their enemy to their master's tomb. I mean, can you even imagine seeing that procession? When they reached the temple, they performed one last ritual. They carefully washed the head in a nearby well and then respectfully placed it before their master's grave. They lit incense and reported that their mission was a success. With that single act, their master's honor was finally restored. The vow was fulfilled. So that leaves us with a big question, right? When you look back at everything, the 2 years of deception, the incredible sacrifice, the brutal climax, was this whole thing just a cold, calculated act of revenge? Or was it something else entirely? Maybe the single greatest display of loyalty in all of history? That's the question that makes this story so powerful and timeless, and it's why people are still fascinated by it centuries later. Thanks for watching. If you like this, then please subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss any updates.